Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing a really meticulous kind of forensic breakdown of the hidden story buried inside the fragmented audio of that new KRA 2026 trailer. Because if you've been following the hype at all, you already know this isn't just about the flashy visuals, right? The real narrative clues are actually hiding in plain sight. Or, well, in plain hearing, I guess you could say. So we're going to take all that raw, overlapping dialogue from the trailer, piece it together like a giant puzzle, and reveal the terrifying timeline of events. Listen closely to this ominous warning. The fjord isn't like it used to be. I mean, that single line just instantly hooks us, doesn't it? It completely sets the stage. We aren't just dealing with your standard run-of-the-mill creature feature here. This establishes a really tense environmental thriller vibe literally right out of the gate. Something fundamental in the natural world has shifted, and the locals? They are the very first ones to sense that the ecosystem they've known their entire lives is suddenly dangerously different. So let's look at part one, the fjord's changing nature. What's absolutely fascinating here is the introduction of a real scientific perspective. The audio explicitly confirms someone is actually on site doing an inspection for Havforskningen, which is Norwegian for marine research. So what does this mean? It means the changing nature of the fjord isn't just some local superstition or a wild rumor. No, it's reached a level of severity that demands official, organized scientific investigation to figure out exactly what kind of anomaly is unfolding right beneath the surface. And what exactly does that marine research uncover? Well, basically, pure panic. The extreme urgency in the audio is just palpable. You must shut down the aquaculture facility before it's too late. This line is brilliant because it immediately illustrates the high-stakes conflict of the story. These scientific investigators aren't just calmly taking water samples. They are desperately trying to halt whatever local infrastructure is triggering this whole crisis. And that phrase, before it's too late, yeah, that pretty much confirms we're on a rapidly accelerating countdown to an absolute disaster. Moving on to part two, the corporate catalyst. The dialogue gives us a very clear corporate anchor for this whole mystery, Triple H production. But here's the real kicker. We aren't just dealing with some big, faceless corporation. The audio actually reveals that this facility is run by the father of a character named Boda. And honestly, that is just a masterful storytelling device. It tightly intertwines this impending ecological catastrophe with deeply personal family stakes. The very people trying to stop the disaster are directly tied to the people causing it. Talk about tension, right? This dynamic is laid out perfectly. On one hand, you hear this highly sanitized, detached English corporate speak saying, the sonic treatment can stress the salmon. Like it sounds like a minor, totally manageable operational hiccup, just a little stress, no big deal. But then contrast that with the harsh, panicked reality being shouted by the actual locals on the ground. This sonic treatment can ruin the whole fjord here. It is the classic, terrifying clash between profit-driven corporate downplaying and the raw reality of a catastrophic environmental disaster. And that total disconnect, it's cemented right here. In the trailer, there's this corporate voice asking, in English, what do you mean by disrupt? This highlights a terrifying level of corporate ignorance. Or, maybe it's just willful denial. They've gone ahead and implemented this intense sonic treatment in the water without remotely understanding the true horrifying extent of what they're disrupting. They genuinely think they're just stressing out some fish, completely oblivious to the fact that they're waking up something far, far worse. Which brings us to part three, gathering the evidence. Throughout the dialogue, we get these scattered clues that really function like pieces of a frantic forensic puzzle. The characters mention finding an abandoned scooter from the last few days, and they also talk about a shared video recording. So this tells us the narrative heavily relies on both physical and digital evidence. People are going missing, or at least leaving their stuff behind, and our protagonists are actively tracking these anomalies. They're basically trying to build a case against the bizarre things happening in the water. And this piece of evidence is absolutely paramount. I saw the video you sent. By emphasizing this specific line, the explainer shows us that the threat has totally moved past the rumor stage. The characters are comparing notes, they're sharing digital proof, and they are coming to a shared, undeniable realization. Whatever was captured on that video, it confirms all their worst fears, and it completely validates that desperate need to shut down Triple H production immediately. And now, for the big reveal, part 4, something in the water. Let's just pause for a second and ask the exact same direct question that someone asks in the trailer's dialogue. What do you think happened? I mean, think about everything we've built up so far. the changed fjord, the sonic treatment stressing the waters, the abandoned scooter, that terrifying video. All of this corporate hubris and environmental disruption was literally just the prelude. It was the trigger. And here is the stark, chilling answer. There is something out in the fjord. Those sonic treatments didn't just stress the salmon, they aggravated something massive that was hidden deep in the dark water. The corporate tampering basically acted like a giant dinner bell, or maybe an alarm clock, for an apex predator that belongs strictly in myth. The environmental thriller has officially crossed over into a flat-out, terrifying survival nightmare. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly provocative thought to wrap up our explainer. It's not going to give up. This isn't a problem that can be fixed by simply flicking a switch and turning off the aquaculture facility anymore. The beast has been awoken, and it is absolutely relentless. So I leave you with this to chew on. When humanity pushes nature too far with corporate greed, and nature weaponizes itself into an unstoppable, mythological force, how exactly do you survive an enemy that refuses to give up? Keep that question in mind as we wait for more clues to surface.
Hello guys, thank you for watching my video and please subscribe. Hey YouTube, my short reel participate, not mask content. This last reel I am participate. Or hey guys, please subscribe. Thank you for